Do you ever feel like your relationships are slipping away no matter how hard you try to hold on? That constant overthinking, fear of rejection, or panic when someone seems distant might actually be anxious attachment at work. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay stuck in this cycle. In this video, you'll learn 5 proven strategies to stop anxious attachment from sabotaging your connections. Tools like building self-awareness, challenging negative thoughts, and communicating your needs effectively. It's time to break free from fear and start building the secure, fulfilling relationships you deserve. Anxious attachment is like carrying a heavy emotional backpack filled with fear, insecurity, and a constant need for reassurance. It often stems from early childhood experiences, perhaps a parent or caregiver who was inconsistent in their love and attention. One moment, they were there for you, and the next, they seemed distant or unavailable. This unpredictability can leave a lasting imprint, making you feel like you must fight for love or prove your worth in relationships. It's not your fault, but it's something that can follow you into adulthood, quietly shaping how you connect with others. Fast forward to today, and that anxious attachment might show up in ways you don't even realize. Maybe you find yourself overanalyzing every text message from your partner or feeling a wave of panic when they don't respond right away. That fear of abandonment can be overwhelming, leading to behaviors that might push people away. Ironically, the very thing you're trying to avoid. It's not uncommon to feel like you're walking on eggshells, constantly questioning if you're enough or if the other person will stay. This cycle can feel exhausting. But it's important to know you're not alone. What makes anxious attachment so tricky is how it can lead to impulsive actions. Perhaps you've sent a flurry of texts in a moment of panic, only to regret it later. Or maybe you've created scenarios in your head, convinced yourself of rejection, and acted on those assumptions. These behaviors aren't a reflection of who you are. They're a response to that inner fear of being left behind. The good news, these patterns can be unlearned with the right tools and mindset. It starts with recognizing them for what they are. Survival mechanisms that no longer serve you. The impact of anxious attachment isn't limited to romantic relationships. It can seep into friendships, family dynamics, and even professional settings. It's like a shadow that follows you, whispering doubts and fears. But here's the thing. Understanding this attachment style is the first step toward breaking free from its grip. Once you start to see the patterns, you can begin to rewrite the narrative. And that's where the real work begins. Learning how to manage those feelings and build healthier connections. Speaking of which, let's dive into the first way to tackle anxious attachment. This is the foundation of managing anxious attachment. It's about pausing and asking yourself, what am I feeling right now and why? Often, anxious attachment triggers a whirlwind of emotions, fear, insecurity, or even jealousy, before you even realize what's happening. By slowing down and identifying these feelings, you can stop them from spiraling out of control. For instance, imagine you're waiting for a reply from someone you care about, and the delay makes you feel ignored. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to name that feeling. I'm feeling anxious because I'm afraid they're losing interest. Recognizing your triggers is another key step in building self-awareness. These triggers are often rooted in past experiences, like being dismissed or overlooked as a child that resurface in present relationships. Pay attention to situations that make you feel overly sensitive or reactive. For example, if you notice that you feel uneasy when your partner spends time with their friends, it might be a sign of deeper fears of abandonment. Journaling can be a powerful tool here. Writing down your emotions and the situations that spark them can help you connect the dots and see patterns you might otherwise miss. Self-awareness also means catching yourself before you act on those anxious impulses. Let's say you're tempted to check your partner's social media for signs of trouble, like looking for new followers or likes on their posts. Instead of diving into that rabbit hole, pause and ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? Maybe you're assuming they're losing interest, but is that really true? This small moment of reflection can save you from unnecessary stress and help you respond more thoughtfully. It's not about suppressing your feelings, but understanding them before they take over. The beauty of self-awareness is that it empowers you to take control of your emotions rather than letting them control you. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You can finally see what's there and decide how to navigate it. And while this takes practice, the rewards are worth it. You'll start to notice that you feel calmer, more grounded, and less reactive over time. But self-awareness is just the beginning. Once you've built that foundation, the next step is learning how to challenge those negative thoughts that often fuel anxious attachment. Negative thoughts can feel like an uninvited guest that overstays its welcome, especially when you're dealing with anxious attachment. These thoughts often sound like, they're ignoring me, or I'm not good enough for them. But here's the truth. Thoughts are not facts. Just because your mind tells you something doesn't mean it's true. For instance, if a friend takes hours to reply to your text, your brain might jump to the worst-case scenario. They're mad at me. But what if they're just busy? Learning to challenge these automatic assumptions is a game changer for managing your emotions. One way to challenge negative thoughts is to ask yourself, what evidence do I have for this? Let's say your partner hasn't been as talkative lately. Instead of assuming they're losing interest, take a step back and examine the situation. Have they mentioned being stressed at work? Are they dealing with personal issues? By looking at the bigger picture, you can often find alternative explanations that are far less catastrophic. This simple shift in perspective can help you avoid unnecessary conflict and give your relationships the breathing room they need to thrive. Another powerful strategy is to reframe the stories you tell yourself. For example, instead of thinking, they don't care about me, try, maybe they're showing care in a way I'm not recognizing right now. This doesn't mean ignoring red flags, but it does mean giving people the benefit of the doubt when it's reasonable. A practical tip, use mantras like rejection is redirection, or not everything is about me, to ground yourself when your mind starts to spiral. These phrases can act as anchors, pulling you back to a place of calm and clarity. Challenging negative thoughts isn't about silencing your inner voice. It's about questioning it. Over time, you'll notice that this practice helps you feel less reactive and more in control. It's like training a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you become. And when you pair this with self-awareness, you're already building a solid foundation for healthier relationships. But there's another piece of the puzzle: finding balance in your life so that your happiness doesn't depend solely on someone else. Finding balance in your life is essential when managing anxious attachment. It's easy to fall into the trap of making someone else the center of your universe, but this often creates unhealthy dynamics. When your happiness depends entirely on another person, the stakes feel impossibly high, and every small interaction can feel like a test of their love. Instead, think of your life as a table with multiple legs. Relationships are just one leg. The others might include hobbies, friendships, career, or personal growth. The more legs your table has, the sturdier it becomes, even if one leg wobbles. One way to create balance is by investing in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment outside of your relationships. Maybe it's picking up a creative hobby like painting, joining a fitness class, or volunteering for a cause you care about. These activities not only enrich your life, but also remind you that your worth isn't tied to someone else's attention. For example, imagine how empowering it feels to spend an afternoon immersed in something you love, rather than anxiously waiting for a text reply. It's not about ignoring your relationships. It's about ensuring they're not your only source of happiness. Maintaining balance also means nurturing your independence. This doesn't mean pushing people away. It means having a sense of self that exists beyond your role in someone else's life. For instance, if you're in a romantic relationship, make time for your own friends and interests. It's healthy to have separate lives that complement each other rather than overlap completely. This independence can actually strengthen your bond, as it reduces the pressure on your partner to meet all your emotional needs. After all, no one person can be everything for someone else. Finding balance is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing effort to ensure you're prioritizing your well-being alongside your relationships. And as you build this balance, you'll notice a shift, not just in how you feel, but in how others respond to you. People are naturally drawn to those who radiate confidence and self-sufficiency. But balance alone isn't enough. You also need to learn how to communicate your needs effectively. Communicating your needs can feel like walking a tightrope when you have anxious attachment. On one hand, you want to express yourself. On the other, you fear coming across as too needy or overwhelming. But here's the thing. Healthy communication isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about expressing them in a way that fosters connection rather than conflict. A great starting point is using I statements, like I feel anxious when plans change suddenly, instead of you always cancel on me. This shifts the focus from blame to your emotions, making it easier for the other person to understand and respond. One powerful technique for communicating needs is reframing your thoughts with the phrase, "The story I'm telling myself is." For example, if your partner seems distant, instead of accusing them of losing interest, you could say, "The story I'm telling myself is that you're upset with me because you've been quieter than usual." Is that true? This approach invites dialogue rather than defensiveness and helps clarify misunderstandings before they escalate. It's a simple yet effective way to share your feelings without letting anxiety take the wheel. Another key to effective communication is setting clear expectations up front. Many conflicts arise not because of what someone does, but because of unmet, unspoken expectations. For instance, if you expect daily check-ins from your partner but never voice that, resentment can build when they don't meet that unspoken need. Instead, be proactive. It would mean a lot to me if we could check in once a day, even if it's just a quick text. Clear communication like this reduces guesswork and helps both parties feel more secure. Of course, there will be moments when emotions run high, and it's tempting to lash out or shut down. But learning to pause and regulate your emotions before speaking can make all the difference. Take a deep breath, step away if needed, and remind yourself that the goal is connection, not control. Over time, these small shifts in how you communicate can transform your relationships. But even with the best communication skills, there are times when professional help is invaluable, which brings us to the next step. Sometimes, managing anxious attachment feels like trying to untangle a knot that just keeps getting tighter. That's when asking for help becomes not just an option, but a necessity. Therapy, for instance, can be a mental health professional can help you uncover the root causes of your attachment style, challenge distorted thinking, and guide you toward healthier patterns. Think of therapy as a safe space where you can rehearse difficult conversations, explore your fears of rejection, and learn tools for emotional regulation. It's not a sign of weakness, it's an investment in your emotional well-being. Beyond therapy, there are other resources that can provide support. Online communities, like Reddit forums focused on attachment styles or mental health, can be a great place to share experiences and learn from others who've been in your shoes. Similarly, joining a local support group can help you feel less alone in your struggles. Hearing real-life stories of people who've overcome similar challenges can be incredibly inspiring. It's a reminder that healing is possible, even if it feels out of reach right now. Asking for help also means leaning on your existing support system. This could be a trusted friend, family member, or even a mentor who understands what you're going through. Sometimes, just saying, "I'm struggling with these feelings and I need someone to talk to," can be a huge relief. People who care about you often want to help, but may not know how unless you open up. And while it can feel vulnerable to admit he's struggling, it's a step toward building deeper, more authentic connections. Knowing when to ask for help is about recognizing that you don't have to do this alone. There's strength in seeking guidance, whether it's from a therapist, a support group, or a close friend. And as you take these steps, you'll start to notice a shift, not just in how you feel, but in how you approach relationships. The tools you gain from asking for help can empower you to break free from old patterns and build healthier, more fulfilling connections. But before we wrap up, let's reflect on everything we've covered and how it all ties together. Anxious attachment can feel like an uphill battle, but recognizing it is already a victory. It's not easy to confront the fears of rejection, abandonment, or insecurity that often come with this attachment style. But here's the truth. These feelings don't define you, and they don't have to control your relationships. The fact that you're here, learning and reflecting, shows your commitment to growth. That's something to be proud of. Remember, healing isn't about perfection. It's about progress. One small step at a time. Building healthier relationships starts with the relationship you have with yourself. When you invest in your own emotional well-being, you create a ripple effect that touches every connection in your life, whether it's practicing self-awareness, challenging negative thoughts, or finding balance. Each tool you use strengthens your ability to love and be loved. And while the journey can feel lonely at times, it's important to remember that you're not alone. There are countless others navigating similar challenges, and their stories can inspire and guide you. The beauty of this journey is that it's not just about fixing what's broken, it's about discovering what's possible. Imagine what your relationships could look like if you approached them with confidence, clarity, and compassion. Picture yourself communicating your needs without fear, finding joy in your independence, and building connections that feel secure and fulfilling. These aren't just dreams, they're achievable realities when you commit to the process. And every step you take brings you closer to that version of yourself. So, what's next? It's time to take what you've learned and put it into action. Start small, maybe by journaling your triggers or practicing a new communication technique. Share your experiences in the comments below, because your story could be the encouragement someone else needs. And remember, this is just the beginning. The tools you've gained here are stepping stones to a brighter, more balanced future. But before you go, let's recap the key takeaways and how they can transform your relationships. Anxious attachment doesn't have to control your life or your relationships. It's manageable with the right tools and mindset. The first step is building self. By recognizing your triggers and understanding your emotional responses, you can stop reacting impulsively and start responding thoughtfully. This awareness allows you to catch yourself before spiraling into anxiety, giving you the power to rewrite the narrative in your mind. It's not about perfection, but progress, and every small step counts. Challenging negative thoughts is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Remember, thoughts aren't facts. Learning to question your assumptions and reframe your inner dialogue can help you break free from the cycle of fear and insecurity. Whether it's using mantras like rejection is redirection or simply asking yourself, what evidence do I have for this? These small shifts can make a big difference. Over time, this practice helps you feel more grounded and less reactive in your relationships. Finding balance is equally important. When you build a life outside of your relationships, through hobbies, friendships, and personal growth, you create a sense of independence that strengthens your emotional resilience. This balance not only reduces the pressure on your relationships, but also helps you rediscover your own happiness. It's about remembering that you are enough with or without someone else's validation. Independence and connection can coexist beautifully when nurtured with intention. Finally, communication and support are the glue that holds it all together. Learning to express your needs clearly, without overreacting, fosters healthier connections, and knowing when to ask for help, whether through therapy, support groups, or trusted friends, can provide the guidance and encouragement you need to grow. These strategies aren't just about managing anxious attachment. They're about creating a life where you feel secure, valued, and empowered. With these tools in hand, you're ready to take the next step toward healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Managing anxious attachment isn't easy, but it's absolutely possible, and you've already taken the first step by learning these strategies. Now it's time to put them into action, whether it's journaling to build self-awareness, reframing negative thoughts, or communicating your needs effectively. Every small step brings you closer to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on emotional well-being. Your journey is just beginning, and you're not alone in this.